Hello, this is Logan Adamson. Today I'm going to talk about the movie Prey. It came out in 2022, exclusively on the Hulu app. It's a prequel to the Predator series, and I'm going to look at it through the psychological lens. So, what we covered in class that made me really think about this was the super ego, the ego, and the id, and talking about how those are represented in our brain and represented in movies. So to give a quick breakdown of the movie, it takes place in Native American, early Native American times, right when the French were kind of fur trapping right through that area. So the story takes place about a village of Native Americans, and the main character is a Indian woman who is trying to be a hunter in the village, but she is meeting obstacles through the men in the village who don't really want her to hunt, and so she has to overcome a lot of sexism within that environment. And so the Predator shows up, and he starts taking out the biggest threats that he can find. And I won't explain the whole movie, but essentially the female, the heroine, the main character, is the only one who's actually able to defeat the Predator because she's a skilled hunter and she's not perceived as a threat to the Predator. And so that's what makes her able to defeat it and outsmart it instead of the other people who try to fight it head on. And so how this is looked at through a psychological lens is I kind of looked up online an article about from a university that talked about the desire for vengeance and how it's an illicit response to unfair treatment or when one's self-worth is threatened. And I feel like nowadays, I feel like an old man, but nowadays that's something that we all face in our own ways and that we can all really relate to, is that desire to overcome that unfair treatment. And why I specifically chose revenge and all that and is because this movie is a really good release for the id center of the brain. I like to call it the monkey part of the brain from evolution, because essentially most of the action sequences in the movie is the Predator taking out the sexist males who tried to either beat up or intimidate the main character. And in this way, it also allows us to feel kind of sympathy for the villain as well, which is really kind of hard to do in films, especially if it's, well, not in certain films, when it's the Predator, not really a human-looking guy. It's got a crab face. And so it actually helps us root for him in a way throughout the film, there is a comparison of how the main character is exactly like the Predator. There is a scene where they both look at the exact same evidence or the exact same kill, and they both practically do the exact same thing. They both pick up evidence nearby and examine the body, and they're both shown to cover their tracks and things like that. And there's even a scene where the main character takes out a group of the French hunters, just like the Predator did, essentially. And so this is, break it down, two of my points. And from essentially my 3 points were this is a very good release for the id, center of the brain, for psychology, because it allows us to put ourselves essentially in the Predator's shoes and allows us to take vengeance in a safe environment for those that we feel have inflicted unfair treatment to us and just within the subconscious. And The reason I chose to look at it through a psychological standpoint is because that's really how I feel about a lot of the movies I watch. Is I look at it through the lens of, this is a release for the stressed part of my brain, something that allows my brain to unwind and take out certain like aggressions and stuff within the subconscious whenever I'm watching a film. I like to compare, mostly all entertainment theater is a very good way for us to escape the monotony of our daily lives or problems that we're having in our, just the stress of a daily life. And so that's essentially my paper, if you will. And thank you so much, and see you in class. Bye-bye.